I'm reviewing my list, and I just have to wonder, is every shortstop hurt? I mean, is every shortstop in the list a little bit of a liability, an injury liability? We've got Lindor on the calf. Story, he got injured last season. I think elbow, maybe Tommy John candidate. Trey Turner, okay, healthy. Bregman, elbow. Correa, constant back. Bogarts, season ago thumb. Seager coming off of two surgeries. I mean, Torres, elbow. Every shortstop, there's a little bit of injury concern there. It's a position I've got to sort out. Welcome back to all the subscribers. The main event today is going to be the closer update. We got to go a little bit deeper there, and I'm going to throw out 3 fresh auction strategies as you're trying to build out your team. But first, let me go back. We got to have some hitting conversations. I continue to grind. It's the preseason, it's draft season. We need to keep getting better. And I have some additional hitters for you that we need to talk about. Let me jump into the list. 2 guys, 2 outfielders here. Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham is a real player. I think he's 31. He's not coming cheap at $18. I think that's a little bit expensive for Pham, but I think you have to know about him and respect that he's a 18 with upside if he stayed healthy. But just below him, a similar player who I'm a little bit more excited on. The secret's out. Victor Robles, going for maybe $15. Nobody is sleeping on Robles. News comes out. News comes out on Robles that he might bat ninth this season as a sort of secondary leadoff. Well, that we don't like that. It doesn't matter. Secondary, whatever you call him, he's batting ninth. He's going to miss plate appearances. Maybe if you're drafting him, you're having the opposite story with yourself. Victor Robles may work his way into being a number 1 or number 2 hitter. The contact rates are there. I'll still buy in on Robles, even though that batting order news is not good. Old man safety pick of the day has got to be Nelson Cruz. There's actual pop in that bat. I just want to mention him. I got him up a little bit. Malik Smith news. Okay, we're going to have to be a doctor here. Malik Smith elbow. He's going to be held out of some games. Looks like some international play. Is this a guy is he Tommy John? Is he a Tommy John candidate? And another player who, the secret is out. People want that late speed. They're paying a premium for the late speed, and they're pushing it up. So I think Malik's is someone you've got to be willing to pay a little bit extra for. Another super safe veteran pick if you're looking for someone just quality, batting average, and you need someone to fill in late. Carlos Santana, don't sleep. He's the real deal. That bat is above average. He's probably a low-level star, consistent season to season. Middle of the lineup, they DH. I mean, they're always finding a place to play him because the bat is so good. Aaron Hicks, I think has to be respected. I haven't found a way to get him into the lineup. I don't know. Probably some late bloomer resentment. And another guy climbing up the draft picks, Ramon Laureano, the outfielder at Oakland. Laureano has this is toolsy. I mean, going back to some future values, I want to say he's like a 55 with some speed, with good speed. I think a 70 speed grade. That's toolsy. You know, he's got to be thought about. I think he's climbing up the draft boards. So we've got that going. Let me just touch on 2 pitchers here. Colin McHugh, really interesting. He was relieving for the Astros last season, but he was dominant in that relief role. It looks like the Astros are going to rebuild him into a starter, which he did 2 years ago, with 2 ticks he found in velocity and a 4-pitch mix. McHugh is an interesting late-round ad if you've got room or in deeper leagues. And do you guys remember this guy? Remember this guy that went by the name of Double R, Robbie Ray? Robbie Ray, interesting. He had a terrible year. He missed a big chunk of it with an oblique. The curveball never really got going. The walk issues returned. But Robbie Ray has strikeout upside, and I feel like we're just discarding him as being a man who's done. A man who is trash. He shouldn't even be in the MLB. He shouldn't be pitching whatsoever. Robbie Ray is probably better than the way we're treating him. So I just wanted to mention him as you're kind of looking at your later pitchers. So this is the main reason I had to touch in. It's get up. It's fantasy season. We got to keep grinding. There's a little more work to do. Let me lead you through this. It's a maturity into relief pitching. It's really spreading out. If I have a balanced team, maybe we shouldn't be punting. Maybe we should be trying to win all the categories and give us the chance to get those 10 O's or 9 1s where we're just take it all down. But how are we going to get there? We're going to have to mature into getting some closers. We're going to have to be okay with holding 4 closers, 4 to 5, and really winning saves, holding down saves at another level. So let me jump into the closers. I reviewed these guys. This is who we're looking at. And it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to start paying like crazy. I'm not telling you that we're going to start spending 60 on closers. This isn't going to be get the best 2 closer strategy. We're not going that far with it. We want to work through the list a little bit. At the top, again, just what I'm reviewing here, K to B percentage, velocities, FIPS, XFIPS, Sierra, skills independent, earned run average is a good metric for the quality of the ERA that the person received that season, so you can sort by your Sierra, and that's a pretty good list of filth. The other thing you really have to check out here, change your plate appearances or your numbers of innings and drop those way down, because you need to get those small sample size guys, those call-ups, those injury-shortened seasons. Get everybody on the list. No stone left unturned in there. Back into closers here. And Trinan has that plus velo. He's got that 97 with the velo. And notice how much we like velo. We like exit velo. We like pitching incoming velo. Diaz, obviously the burner. Here's my riser here. If you want a real top end signature piece, Doolittle appears to have all of it. Really filthy ratios, good stuff. Bargain closer of the day, Roberto Ozuna of Houston. He's going for cheap. If he's coming at $12, too many opportunities, too much job security to only be going for 12. Ozuna could be my number 1 guy if he's coming at value. Chapman again, but I think he's expensive. The Boston, I can't. Oh my God! Let me talk about this Boston pen. It's Brazier and Barnes. They both look like they can do it. They're both good enough. I see why Kimbrel got the boot. Barnes has the higher strikeout rate, but he's walkier. Brazier has less Ks, but less walks, sub 2 walks per 9, and a 96, 97 mile an hour fastball. These guys could share. Is this a situation? This is the first time I'm seeing. Do I get both? Do you get both and just write it out and know you're getting the saves and take the other guy's ratios in middle relief? Brad Hand remains good. Jumping down, I think we stick with Alvarado. I mean, signs are pointing to him having that job. I'm not listening to the talk. The next double bullpen that I'm seeing is this Knebel Hader. I mean, if we're looking at $5, $10, I have it here at 4.7. Get both of them. Hader's ratios and Ks in middle relief are borderline low-end starters. Ratios for days. Knebel's stuff is really dirty. It's hard and it's fast. Hicks is coming with the heat. This Strope, I think it's Strope. Strope had really good swing and miss. I'm going to swinging strike. Just sort swinging strike by itself on the plate discipline. That's going to tell you a lot about just stuff. Moreau does have a hard fastball, but I'm not sure about the health. I think it's Strope there. I'm going to touch in on Sir Anthony Dominguez. If you're really late and desperate and you'll take some middle relief, he's just built like a closer. The hard stuff is coming 97s, 98. Swing and misses there. Yates, but the secret's out on Yates in San Diego and Machado. That's just going to draw more attention to Yates, but the stuff is there to back it up. I see why he's being paid for at like 14. Here it is. Here's lock-in closer number 4 signature piece for us to get this all right and fill out a bullpen for cheap. Will Smith. Will Smith in San Fran. Forget what I was saying on Cone and Watson. I think Will Smith is the dude here. He has ratios. He has real deal stuff. I'm going to have him all over the place. I'm down on Cody Allen. Cody Allen looked bad last season. Down on Cody Allen would make room for Buttery. But no way on Cody Allen. I'm not touching that. Ken Giles. Gotta live here. Number 3 closer. Number 5 closer. Fastball is up. Job is his. Cheap, about $5. Leclerc has the stuff. Expensive. Givens has the stuff. Cheap. And Rossiel Iglesias, depending on the role, I think we got to mention him. Those are the closers right there. And so I'm taking a step forward. We got to figure out how to mix those in, how to make a staff. I've got a couple more strategies for you guys here. 3 auction draft strategies. This is my first one. It's an idea of going what I'm calling like super total value. Every player lingering around $20. And think about if you go over $20 and make a $25 player, you got to balance it and get a $15 player. This range will work because I could get a lot of aces. I could spend a lot of 25 on aces. I could be very acey, but I would have room for quality bats in the second tier. I could have a Mondesi Villar middle infield with Aguilar. You know, there's enough room to get a Hoskins and a Rizzo on the corners, drop down as low as keep going to that Suarez, working some Myers. You know, there's a way to kind of get that at value. The idea is to not pay any high-end pieces. Just say 40 is too much. 60, it's unacceptable because 2 $30 players are better than any one $60 player. That's something that's up for debate. So that's one way to look at this. I'm seeing another technique that I'm calling like abuse the first base. Abuse the first base and then get value middle infield. It'd be this idea like Rizzo's just coming cheap and Hoskins is a little bit cheap. So if you pounded 1B and you needed power and you got those 3 guys with like a Judge, you would really deplete the 1B stack. You could play them at outfield. You'd have a lot of redundancy for health. That's another style. And then the third one I'm going here, and I think this is something I want to mix in the next draft, because let's break away. Let's break away from 185 to 75. Let's get into our own thing. Maybe I want to spend about 120 on pitching. Put together what I'm going to call the Elite Staff Show. The Elite Staff Show. Keep it AC. 7, 5, 6, 7, 8 aces. Not too many. That'll keep ERAs and Ks really low. And then come in with the right closing scheme and put together just a really firm staff. Get value and be deep at hitter. Get ready for Vlad and Eloy to come in. That's a team. That's a strategy to get with. Big shout out to all the subscribers. Just keeping you guys moving through prep, moving through preseason, getting better, fine-tuning the list a little bit. Appreciate the likes if you guys are liking the work. If you're new, jump in and subscribe. Jump in and subscribe. Let me know you're out there. You guys are motivating me to make more quality content. Peace.